Slacktail Squad, assemble.
If you are listening to this, you are a member of the Great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and Lord High Commander of the Great Slaptail Nation Army. And with me today, here in the Beaver Den with an ass so fine, I'll make you want to violate the first commandment, the Padme to my Darth Vader, the evil in my Skeletor, and the Harley Quinn to my ever-so-sane Joker. I give you the heart-shaped ass that is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan.
How are things today?
Oh, they're all right. It's kind of a Tuesday on a Monday and a Monday on a Tuesday and a something, and it was all right, I guess. I don't know. It's closer to the weekend. Yay. Why are you so out of breath?
Because I just got done running. You like, little Primatine, something. I don't know. Anyway.
You got that asthma?
Got the asthma. And I am not very fast. Not very fast. It's quite sad. It's quite sad.
Is it because you don't have any endurance?
Actually, the endurance is good. It's just the speed is not. I feel like I could, I just ran 30 minutes straight. So
you could endure just at a slow pace. So you need
like a turtle.
Slow and steady. That's fine.
Like a turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. Also with us today, all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan, where it appears that he might actually be strangling himself.
He's trying to hang himself.
It looks like he might be hanging himself. And I, for one, am here for it.
He's trying all elements. He's trying, like, the microphone cord. He's trying the earphones cord. He's trying the bow tie. He's, like, looking at all ways he can hang himself.
And I'm here for it. If this is too much for you, go ahead and end it all. That's probably not the right thing for me to say.
And if you're listening to us, as you can tell, you're never going to learn anything, and we're just pretending.
Yes.
Yes.
Or, if you decide to end it all, do it correctly.
Yeah, don't call 911.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Just slip into the sweet surrender of death.
Don't tell your friends. Don't tell your friends. There's like an...
No,
make sure if you're going to jump off a building, you better make sure it's extra high.
That's the best part. You can't change your mind.
No, that's the worst part because you're panicking all the way down. You're like, "Fuck, this was a mistake."
Yeah,
close your eyes.
That's great. That's hilarious. You get the like the.
Well, no, that's hilarious for us, but not
like panicking. Like, bro, just strike a pose.
I mean, I think if you're going to do it, think it out real hard before you decide to change your mind. Like, maybe you've already thought real good and maybe had a practice one or two, like, off the top of the building onto a trampoline. A trial run, shall you say.
Have you ever jumped on a trampoline?
I have. Yeah,
jumping from a roof, you're going to go through the trampoline.
No, you're not. You can do it from a second-story roof to the trampoline and into a pool. We've done it many, many times.
First of all, it's not that you will jump through the trampoline. It's the weight will actually you'll just break all your legs and your spine because you're going to be touching the ground. Your trampoline won't stop you from hitting the ground.
I didn't hit the ground. Oh, I mean, it was only from a second-story building.
I'm going through that trampoline.
Yeah, it happened to my friend's brother. He wasn't fat per se, but he weighed more than us, and he went through the side part of it, and his leg hit the bar, and he racked his nuts on it, and therefore his ankle hit the ground, and his nuts hit the circle bar between the two, the outside bar. Yeah. So we didn't do it after that.
Anyway, don't kill yourself. That was really what I was getting to. At least
don't do it.
Anyway, don't do it. Talk to someone and then do it the right way.
Call 988. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's called 988 and then select option 1, but as a veteran, but there won't be anybody there.
They've been fired.
Yeah. Thanks, Trump, you piece of shit. Anyway, also with us today, all the way from Kalamazoo.
We didn't let him talk yet. Yes, I forgot. Okay, go ahead.
All the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan, amateur comedian.
He's hired. He's been hired. He's been getting
semi-professional.
Semi-professional.
Semi-professional. Okay, semi-professional comedian. I don't know.
Chewbacca's
Semi-professional
little nephew.
Comedian. Chewbacca's wee nephew. We give you Nolan Johncock of Johncock Comedy. Put that cock in your mouth.
Put that cock in your mouth. Hello.
Put the cock in your mouth. Yeah. I spent way too much time with Nolan this weekend.
All weekend, Friday to Sunday.
Literally all weekend.
Saturday too. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I said Friday
I
to
know.
Sunday. That
And-
includes Saturday.
I know, but we missed you on Monday.
I was at work. You could have come in.
We weren't
Got
invited.
that diabetes.
The diabetes. Now, Nolan, tell them how fun it was to ride my car.
Oh, I don't fit. I do not fit. That car is made for tiny Europeans.
Even with the seat
Like-
all the way back, you can't fit.
It's not the leg length. It's the size of the chair. It was digging into my ass and back the whole way.
Oh yeah, racing seats don't go very well for bigger people.
It was trying to hug you.
Which is funny because my family are a bunch of race car drivers.
Oh, do tell. Did your cousin win the Indy 500?
Yeah.
Really?
He won it.
Like in the 80s.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And you're
Still
still
won.
riding
Man,
on that.
So you're saying it's no longer valid? He still won. Jeez. Way to shame your family.
I've met him once.
Well, then why are you using it for such a bragging point?
I wasn't bragging. It's just an interesting factoid about my family.
Really fun fact.
If you type Nolan Johncock into Google, it's going to bring you my grandfather, not me.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the Racing Hall of Fame for the state.
For what?
Being a good race car driver.
Really? What did he win?
Yeah.
Did he win
I don't
Michigan
fucking
International
know.
Speedway Championship?
I have no idea. He died 30 years before I was born.
Well, that's not cool. Why didn't he stick around?
Because he was in a sprint car and he was 6'6" and it flipped and crushed him.
Oh, so he died going out like with a bang for sure. Maybe
out like a
little
badass.
explosion, fire, something.
Sure. Yeah, leave 4 children without a father before they graduate high school. That's so fucking cool.
It is.
I mean, it's
kinda
probably
cool.
kind of badass, though. I mean, if you think about it, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. Or it was really stupid and probably not very responsible
At
as
least
a
he
parent.
didn't die in a nursing home, shitting himself, reminiscing about the glory days while some little Puerto Rican nurse yells at him.
He
True.
might have liked that. I don't know.
Anyway.
Hey, nurse, I need a sponge bath. No, we don't. No, we're not going to do that. No.
I mean, you're not into anything.
It's
We've
true.
established this.
we
You
have.
are an asexual person.
It's true.
She
Why?
prefers being
being.
an asexual being.
Oh, you're not a person?
Maybe. I mean,
Are you a human being?
sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes. What the heck is going on? Who's having the tech issues now?
What an amazing technological issue. I was about to give John Cock a compliment, but I can't see him now, so it's
You
not
can
as
still
meaningful.
give it. What kind of compliment?
Well, so we went to do comedy Sunday night, which was a lot of fun. We went to Mulligan's in Grand Rapids. Very fun place to do comedy for people who live in Grand Rapids. If you've never been there on a Sunday night, you're missing out. Sunday night heat.
It's free comedy,
Heat.
right? Free comedy?
Yeah, it's free. It's open mic.
Uh-huh.
It starts at like 9-ish p.m.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. Always a good room. Well, I mean, there's times. But that night it happened to be a really good room. And John Cock over yonder had his set and someone bought him a drink. So
Aw.
clearly they thought he was talented or he looked thirsty. I'm not sure.
Maybe a
one or the
little,
other.
little both.
Yeah.
Nolan, was it a girl? Did a girl buy you a
Okay, I'm
drink?
back.
Did a girl
No, it
buy
was a
you a
man.
drink? It was a man?
Yeah.
Was it someone you
Dude that thought
knew?
It was funny.
He just a
No,
random.
It was there was a wedding party there, and one of the members of the wedding party decided to buy me a drink. It was
said
very
member.
nice of him.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
Did you make it an extremely expensive drink? Did you like, I'll have champagne?
No, I had well whiskey like a man.
Ew.
Okay.
Like, you just.
I'm cheap. I'm cheap,
He's
and
a
I
cheap
like
date,
whiskey.
folks. He's a cheap date.
Cheap and he likes whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
No one bought me a drink. I
did?
would say. No one.
A Diet
No,
Coke?
no one
Oh.
bought me a
I
drink.
thought you said Nolan bought you a drink.
That
No,
happens
again,
all the time.
Nolan is cheap and bought me nothing.
But he could have bought you a Diet Coke. That's like not expensive.
I refuse to buy Diet Pop.
I got my Diet Pop for free.
Oh, good for you.
Diet Pop is poison.
So is
regular Pop.
everything else you drink and consume besides water, and even that'll kill you.
water.
There's
not
literal
great.
poison in Diet Pop.
Okay. It's just preservatives. It's fine.
If ants won't eat it, why are you?
That is a great question. I'm not eating it. I'm drinking it.
Yeah, that's a great question for another time.
Yes.
Ingesting it.
Why are you ingesting that vape that you use more than I drink Diet Pepsi?
Yeah, that vape will kill
It's
you.
an addiction.
Yeah.
So is
popcorn
my
lung.
Diet Pepsi, but my Diet Pepsi isn't giving me irreversible popcorn lung.
Yeah.
I don't smoke Chinese vapes.
All vapes are bad.
Yeah, all vapes are bad for you, ding dong.
I know they're bad for me, but it's the Chinese vapes with the bad like vitamin E in it that gives you popcorn lung.
Wrong.
It's all of them. And you
Little micro burns to your lungs.
have been around this planet not that long, and they have known smoking and vaping and inhaling cigarettes and nicotine and all of the things that come along with it have been bad since well before you were born. But yet you picked it up and
We've
made
been
it a bad
smoking
habit.
substances longer than we've had writing.
Yeah, I don't care if you smoke.
And does that
certain
make you intelligent?
substances. Yeah, does that make you
No.
intelligent?
No, it doesn't. Anyway, let's stop busting on him. Let's go back to
All
comedy.
right. Back to comedy.
Nolan, great set the other day. You did
Thank you.
rush your jokes, though.
Yeah. Also, he gave me the light like a minute early.
Oh, did he? Well, he was high as fuck.
Yeah, my recording was only 6 minutes long.
Oh, really? Mine was
Yeah.
on the dot 7.
Good job.
Yeah,
buddy.
but to be fair, I got off stage exactly a minute after he gave me the light.
Oh, okay.
So he just gave you the light early.
Well, if you calculate my actual time doing it with the intro and the the outro, if you will, it was 7 minutes and 18 seconds of my total recording. So
Nice. I am a little mad at you
Why?
why?
because you were laughing so hard recording my set that I couldn't hear the jokes.
What, you don't know your own jokes?
I know the jokes, but I can't put out a clip of a joke that's just you laughing.
That's where you should probably
we
have.
probably could isolate it and get rid of my laughing.
You know how tech savvy I am?
If you give it to me, I could probably play with it.
That's what she said.
Nope, that's what she didn't say.
That's not what you said.
Not
You
what
never
she
said that.
Absolutely not.
Right. However,
we
here
had
I promise you, Nolan. Next time you go, if you want someone not to laugh and record your clips for you, I'm really good at it.
Oh, I make you laugh all the time.
I'm really good at straight facing and not laughing at people when they're doing their sets, though. So I can hold the camera and not laugh.
So what you're saying is you wanted me not to laugh at your jokes.
He wanted you to get him a good
I'm just
recording.
busting your balls, but
I was trying to help him. Okay.
I do appreciate you recording my set.
All right, then. Very well. Thank you for recording mine.
No
On the
problem.
plus side, there was no laughing on mine, so I was able to get all of my audio.
Very good. Very good.
I actively stopped myself from laughing because I was holding the recording device.
I meant everybody. It was as if everyone was recording.
Hey, I can't control that. I can only control me.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Moving on. Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you.
Fair job.
It was weird because everybody kept telling me I did a good job, and I'm like, I'm not used to positive reinforcement. I don't like this.
Did you go home and cry?
It might have actually been the location. That might be why you got positive reinforcement, because I was also told that I did a good job.
Yeah, the comics were like, that was a killer set. Like, what the fuck? Like, you guys forgot I was funny? Like, I know it's been like 6 months since I've gone to GR, but what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, that was the longest period of time I've gone without being in GR. I try to go there like a couple times a month. It has been a while. Glad I got up there. Anyway, nice job.
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I like true crime.
Yeah, we've heard
Have I mentioned it?
a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys know I
We
like
did an
Star Wars?
episode on murder, like,
We've
3
had a
weeks ago.
lot of episodes on
You have a
murder.
Star Wars tattoo. You have multiple.
So I'm not hiding any of this from you guys. I'm basically like
No.
an open book.
Right.
Question for you guys. I've been contemplating this a lot recently because I've been listening to and reading about the West Memphis Three. Are you guys familiar with the West Memphis Three?
No. I
I'm
know about the
assuming-
Central Park 9.
Okay, so this is the West Memphis Three in about, I think it was like, I'm sorry if I get the dates wrong, late 80s, early 90s. They went to court basically in 93, I believe. 3 young men, one's 18, one's like 16, 15-ish, and they were charged with the crime of murdering 3 8-year-old little boys in the woods as a satanic ritual. This was classic satanic panic bullshit. There's absolutely no evidence that these guys killed these kids. They all had alibis. One of them wasn't even in town when it happened. But basically what happened was, because they look different from everybody else in West Memphis, because they wore all black and listened to heavy metal music, they got rounded up for this. The first person they rounded up was, I believe, 15 years old. They kept him and interrogated him for hours and hours and hours and fed him information until he finally fucking confessed with the information they gave him. And they didn't record any of the interview until the last 45 minutes of after having him for several hours.
And they didn't like call his parents or anything.
Nope.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's two massive things they did that are deeply illegal. One, they didn't give him counsel. Two, you're not allowed to question minors without the parent present.
No.
Ever.
This is one of those things that it really frustrates you when you look at the legal system in general, is that you're supposed to, quote, know these things. If you're not arrested, you could literally walk out of the police station.
Yep.
If they're like, I want to question you, I'm like, I'll go with you. The minute you ask me any questions, I'm like, peace. Later, leave. They can't do anything about it. They have to arrest you.
If they try to detain you at that point without arresting you, they've just violated your constitutional rights.
Yeah, they just kidnapped you.
So did those 3 8-year-old boys all die at one time? Like,
Anyway, okay, let me get to it. Sorry.
What I'm just
Well, he's saying what's wrong with the interrogation.
Okay.
So one,
That
yes.
part, yeah.
When you're not supposed to, no minor, period. Can't talk to them without it. Not supposed to, no.
And I feel like if you're going to record an interrogation, you have to record the entire thing, not the freaking end where you get a confession.
Oh, it's a very common police tactic to just interview you for 20 hours straight and mentally break you until you say you did it.
Yeah, and after all this time of all these things happening constantly, why don't people know they could just fucking leave? That drives me crazy. I'm like, just fucking leave. You're not arrested. Fucking leave. Or immediately ask for counsel. Just immediately say, well, nope. But again, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because you're not arrested.
Well, and if you were like a 15-year-old kid who probably has never had any, interference with the law or inter whatever with the law,
And
how
this
is he going to know?
Internet.
Yeah, in the 80s when there was no internet, how is he supposed to know what he's allowed and not supposed to do? He's listening to an adult. Like
But Swan, this still happens now.
Well, I know, I'm just saying.
It's almost like they should teach this in school.
Teacher rights, teacher constitutional rights. Odd.
They might be able to.
It gets worse.
Uh-huh.
The kid that they rounded up initially, this young man who they kept for hours and got a, quote, confession with, has an IQ of 72.
Poor kid.
You can't even join the military with that.
So even worse. And he freely
that
said... That
might be legally, like, mentally retarded.
I think it below 70, maybe, is what it is. I don't know. I just
thought
remember
the
from
cutoff was
Forrest
80,
Gump.
but-
I just remember from Forrest Gump, like, Miss Gump, your boy is... I don't know how I put this. He don't belong in this school, Miss Gump. He had an IQ of 67. Now, the state don't require an IQ of 70 to attend public school. What are we talking about here? Just 3 little points. Is there a Mr. Gump? Miss Gump?
That is funny that you can be too stupid to go to school. Like, hey, bud, I'm sorry. You are a waste of time. Like, we do not have the resources
We
to
got the
spend on
special
you.
school for you.
Can you fit this block into this square? Because if so,
Meanwhile,
you can
it's
go
just
make
a grown
doorstops.
Just a grown man forcing a square through a circle, destroying the actual lesson. I made it fit.
You said if I done make this fit, then I could go to public school. Anyway, so they round this kid up. He gives them a full confession after these all this other. The dude was the night of the murder was in a completely different town wrestling. It was proven that he was not even there. Yet, because he gave this confession, they rounded up the other 2 kids he implicated in this, which was what they wanted in the first place. They wanted these other 2 guys implicated.
So these kids all knew each other.
Yeah, they really didn't know this kid that as well as it was 2 guys, Damian Eccles and Jason something, can't remember his name, were implicated by this kid, Jesse Miss Kelly, who they knew, but he said, yeah, they did all this. We were there.
Mm.
And so they rounded up those two. They got arrested because Damien's 18. He got the death penalty. The other kid got life, like 3 life sentences. And the initial
I'm
guy...
sorry, they went to court with this and a lawyer didn't destroy the state?
Nope, because it was totally stacked against them. The first kid that went is the Jesse Miskelly kid who did the false confession. And they literally said, this is a false confession. These are all the reasons why. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. He confessed. And of course, this is a trial by jury. And he gets convicted. He immediately goes off to jail. And while he's in the vehicle with the police, he confesses again. But this time, he completely tells a totally different story because they put pressure on him and basically were saying, if you confess and you testify at the trial of your two friends, and maybe you'll get off or you'll have less of a sentence. So they lied to him again. And the story he told was completely ridiculous, the second one that he confessed to. I mean, the whole story is ridiculous. It's just completely stupid.
I do want to point out that through all of this trial, there's a child murderer on the loose.
Exactly. Still.
So did all the 3 kids get murdered at once?
Yes. Well, we don't know. Okay, anyway. So this is what happened, right? These kids were missing.
Mm-hmm.
They go off to find them. They get found in this basically kind of creek river area. All 3 of them are naked. They're all tied up. And they all dead.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing at the murder scene. There's no blood. Nothing.
So
So
clearly
they were
they were
obviously
dropped
moved.
there.
Exactly. They were obviously dumped. But yet, they still decided that this was the scene of a satanic ritual. And these 3 boys were convicted for it because they listened to Metallica and wore black shirts.
So I understand that the first kid was mentally retarded.
Right.
Were the cops?
Well, it's Arkansas.
So yeah.
You said Memphis.
I said West Memphis.
Oh. Okay. I was thinking Tennessee, but okay.
Hey, anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line, you run the risk of having a really dumb cop.
Yeah.
But that was their whole thing. It was like, oh, it's just a satanic ritual. And that's why this happened. So anyway, not getting into it too much. You got to just check it out. It's the West Memphis Three. If you've never heard about it, I remember hearing about it when I was in the Army and watching the court cases.
Did the 3 of them ever get exonerated, or are they still in the system?
Oh, dude, it's so much worse. They appealed it over and over and over again. They just kept going, and the same judge heard it every time. I'm like, how can you have the same judge? That judge needs to recuse themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you appeal to a higher court.
Yeah, but they can appeal to them, and he can deny it, and then it goes up to the higher court, and the higher court looks at it and goes, oh, we're going to support what that judge said. So they don't even hear it. They just deny it.
And people wonder why public servants get targeted.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Anyway, so no, it took them 18 years to get out.
That's insane.
This isn't the worst part. The worst part is, though, is when DNA finally got to be a thing. They found DNA evidence.
Oh, it was one of the cops, wasn't it?
So, but the DNA evidence wasn't admitted into court. This is what happened. The Attorney General, basically, if I fuck this up, I'm sorry, but I'm just kind of giving a brief overview.
Yeah, you're doing Cliff Notes.
Yeah, basically what happened was the Attorney General talked to their lawyers and said, if they take an Alford plea, we will not go to court. Well,
What's
an
an
Alford
Alford
plea
plea?
sucks. An Alford plea is basically there's so much evidence or so much circumstantial evidence, and you have such a bad already history of being tried that if you go to court again, you're basically accepting the fact that you're going to get guilty again. You're going to be guilty again, even though you didn't do it. If you take an Alford plea, you admit guilt. You can still make a statement, say, I didn't do this, but there's enough evidence against me, and I don't want to go to court again. If I go to court again, I'm risking being thrown in jail again. I want to get the fuck out. I will admit guilt with this statement that I'm allowed to submit that says I didn't fucking do it, but I've been advised to take this Alford plea, and they walked. So it's still a travesty. It's still a bullshit justice. They took the Alford plea. They got out 18 years later.
with no quality of life at age 40 because you've been a murderer your whole life, and that's terrible. And no
Yeah,
education.
you've been institutionalized.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Baldwin. That's his last name. Well, actually, Damien is an exceptional writer. So if you read...
He had plenty of time to practice.
I mean, he is an amazing writer. I'm reading one of his books right now. It's called like Life After Death or something like that. He's just a really good writer. But anyway, yeah, the only reason these guys got out is because the original documentary on HBO aired in like the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Paradise Lost. Everybody saw it, and smart people, intelligent people watched it and like, these guys didn't do it. It's pretty obvious. There's no evidence to suggest that they did it.
You don't even need to be smart to figure that out. You just need to not be dumb.
Yeah, that would be the jury and the judge and the prosecutors that are dumb. And the cops. Let's not forget the cops.
Fuck.
I feel like if you were any of those attorneys that were in favor of putting those kids in jail, they should be in hell right now. Like, they should go to jail.
Yeah, no, the
Well, they're probably
prosecutor
alive.
should be brought up on misconduct charges.
Oh, but you
The
can't.
judge should be brought up on misconduct
Don't you know that
charges.
there's
They have
rules
government
in place?
immunity.
Yeah, they literally have. There's so you could civil try them, but you'd have to find an attorney to do it. But they have so much protection to them; it's ridiculous. Anyway,
Yeah, all qualified immunity of any form is ridiculous and stupid.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I work for the government, so I'm not held culpable for my mistakes. Like, that's insane.
No, except
If anybody should definitely be held accountable for the fucked up shit they did, it's the government.
yeah, especially also people that you elected. You're like, no, your job is to
Be
uphold
fair.
the law, be
Yeah.
fair, and protect the rights of citizens, but you don't do it.
So DNA evidence was found, and then what? It wasn't theirs.
It showed that it linked none of them. No,
So-
it linked none of them to the crime at all. So, the
So
DNA
again,
that
there's
came back
still a
was-
murderer out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really interesting, and this is the stuff you find out in the follow-on documentaries, because what they did was they came back like 10 years. HBO did a documentary like 10 years later when they were still trying to get out, and they didn't get out that time either. But they brought all this other. They showed new stuff where these kids were killed next to a major truck stop. And what do we know about a lot of the murders along? There's a shitload of them along major interstates. There's
Yeah.
lots of books about it.
Crazy.
I mean, hey, if you want to be a serial killer, being a trucker is a great profession.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem with the first trial was they had no budget. The defense attorneys, they had no budget, literally none. They said that they estimated out that they were making $19 an hour. They had $1,000 to hire experts.
Mm.
So these kids had no shot. They were fucked.
Here's the expert I hire. The first kid's wrestling coach. Like, hey, was this kid at that wrestling match? Yeah? Huh. Couldn't have done it then, morons.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, watch the documentary. Really good. It's on Max. Read about it. It's very good. But I was just thinking about how easy it is. And, they say there's only like 2% of the people that are in prison right now that are wrongly accused. But think about how many people we
that
have.
number's way higher.
Oh, it's got to be higher than that. But think about that. How many people in prison? That's a minimum still of like 200,000 people that are in jail right now that didn't do it.
A lot of people don't realize this. We have the largest prison population in the planet. Not per capita, raw numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We have more people in prison than China and India, countries that have 3 times the amount of people as us. One of whom is an authoritarian state.
Yeah. Well, it's slave labor.
Yep.
I mean, the
the
prisons
private
definitely
prison
make
system.
money.
Yeah, the private prison system makes a tons of money.
Oh, it's not even
they pay
private
them
prisons.
they pay them what, 15 cents an hour?
Not even sometimes. Depends on the state.
But then they go to they want to get like a bag of ramen, and it's like
And it's
$6.
$13.
Whatever. It's insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
And if you go to like county, I don't know how much it cost back how much it costs now, but like back in the day when I worked at the jail, at the county jail, they were charged like $15 a day to be there. So when you leave jail, you have a bill.
That shit pisses me off. Like, I'm not choosing to be here. You're forcing me to be here, and you're charging me money a day to be here? The fuck?
I mean, it
Public
sets
school's
people
free.
up to fail because you are not working. So you probably get fired from a job if you had a job. Your child support and all your stuff is still racking up while you're in jail. You're not getting any kind of assistance if you were on like Social Security or any of the programs because you're in jail and they're charging you money. So you come out worse than you were when you went in, and maybe you did it, but there's a good chance you might have not.
Yeah, but if you look at something just simple, let's say you got a divorce and you have to pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you get behind on your child support. You got a vindictive partner, which I don't blame them. I understand. But they call the cops and you're like, this person has defaulted on their child support. Cops go pick you up. You get thrown in jail, even if it's for 2 days. Doesn't matter because you just didn't go to work for 2 days.
Yeah,
Then you lose your job. Yeah, then you lose your job because you didn't go to work for 2 days and they don't give a shit that you were in jail.
Yeah, you want to know the really fucked up thing? Part of the reason we had a revolution was to stop people from going to jail for debt, because they were just throwing Americans into debt barges and they were dying in there. And now the only form of debt that can actually send you to prison is child support because the state wants their money.
It's all about the dollar. Except this case was all about fear. It was all about the satanic panic, which was really ridiculous because they hired an occult expert to come in. The prosecutors did. Not an expert on the occult. Knew absolutely nothing.
They just grabbed a random Catholic dude.
No, they grabbed some dude who has a PhD from a correspondence course university, and he was, it was so stupid. I'm like, yeah. How many satanic rituals have you ever seen there, buddy? How many occult sacrifices typically go on in this country? In the world, literally.
Probably not that many. And I feel like if you found no blood or evidence of anything, there's not really some ritual thing.
Exactly. There's no ritual. If there's no blood, there's no ritual.
Like, the definition of a cult just means, like, non-Christian.
I mean, satanic cults is just a way of expressing yourself, basically. It's belief in yourself. If I went to a satanic, you know what would attract me to that? Take a guess.
Chicks dressed up in gothic clothing.
And that's why men go. That's why they go. Because it's goth chicks, chicks in corsets, black lipstick, pigtails.
I do want to point out that there are two forms of Satanism. The actual, like, Satanists and the Levian Satanists. Levians are the cool ones. They're the ones that sue cities to put up, like, statues of Baphomet, which is just fucking hilarious to me. It's like, oh, you put up a statue of Jesus? All right, cool, you got to put up the statue of a demon, too.
I mean, he's not that bad of a dude. He's fine. He's fine. He's got a big honker.
Isn't he the one that eats babies?
He's got a big wiener. Everybody has to eat, Johncock.
Not everyone has to eat babies.
What kind of babies we talking?
Any baby.
I mean, baby lamb is pretty good.
That's not a human. That's not a baby. We call it a lamb for a reason.
Okay, details.
Yeah, it's technically not a baby lamb. It's just a lamb.
Veal, yeah.
Veal's a cow.
Baby cows, yeah.
They're delicious. Anyway.
They are.
Anyway. So all this stuff just worries me about, okay, one, what would I go to jail for? What's the most likely if we had to predict what each other would end up going to jail for, what do you think I would go to jail for?
You'd piss off Amethyst to the point that you would make a false report on you.
That's boring.
Realistic.
I mean, I feel like explosive anger towards someone. You would actually probably punch someone, or
I could see a road rage incident escalating to the point that you go to jail.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's I don't think that's fair. Well, I know that's not true. If somebody caused an accident, I would definitely probably rage on them.
I mean, that's definitely what I'm going to jail for.
Yeah, and outward displays of anger are not allowed in this country.
Okay, so that's what I would go to jail for. But let me say this specifically.
I feel like here's what you would really.
I guess
go
what
to jail
happens
for.
when I say let me say this.
I know, but I want to before
pause and
you
just jump over the top of me.
I just thought of what you would really, if
Okay, go
anyone hurt your children or family, you would take vengeance and you would go to jail for that.
Yes, I would.
That's like the true, real what would happen.
But I also wouldn't hide from it. So, like, if I whacked somebody, I literally wouldn't hide from it. I would probably be the one who calls the cops. I'm like, I just killed this piece of shit.
Yeah, you'd be the dad in the airport.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I going to hide from? Yep, it was me.
You guys know what I'm referencing?
Taken? Or like one of
No,
those?
so
this,
back in like the 90s or the 2000s, this Taekwondo instructor kidnapped a kid and was raping him. And he got caught and they arrested him and they were like taking him back to the town to put him to trial. And the dad waited in the airport and just shot him in the head as soon as he got his chance.
Yeah, there was another guy who did it in the courthouse.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen that one. Yep.
His daughter got some dude assaulted like his daughter, and he took him out in the courthouse.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go to jail for that too.
If I'm the president, I'm pardoning both of them. Like, nope, that is exactly what should happen. You are free men. Go back to your families.
In the good old days, that would have happened, probably.
No, that still happens in Texas.
Yeah. Well, Texas has laws in place that you could, as long as you stick to the law. Anyway, but I'm no lawyer. Okay, so yeah, that's probably what I would go to jail for.
Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted. So carry on. What were you really going to say?
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
You were finally correct when you interrupt me and try to predict something.
Yay! Go me.
Now, what would Swan go to jail for?
Credit fraud.
Big scale. If I was going to do that, it would not be like I'm going to go buy a Coach purse or something.
Oh, no, you're buying a house.
I mean, I feel like I could logic problem my way to embezzlement real well. So, sure. I can see that.
I'd still say assault for Swan.
I don't want to be that guy, but women rarely go to jail for that kind of stuff unless it's like super serious or like super public.
So what you're saying is I could do it and get off on self-defense.
No, you wouldn't even need to get off on self-defense. It would just be like, all right, you beat a man up. He's not pressing charges because a woman beat him up. Nobody's witnessed it. Fuck it. Just go home.
Man.
I do. Can I tell my story about that happening when I was a kid? I was probably less than probably 10.
Where were you?
I was in Detroit because, I grew up in Detroit. And my dad was friends with this guy that lived across the street who had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The boy was a year older than me. And he ran his mouth for something. He was always running his mouth and being a jerk and picking on me and my sister and his sister. And he came over one day and ran his mouth too much. And I beat him up. He went home with a bloody nose, a black eye, and a ripped up shirt. He was so mad that I ripped his Bart Simpson t-shirt. He went home to his dad. His dad came over to talk to my dad, and my dad was like, your son came over to talk to you because you guys are coming over because my daughter beat your kid's ass. Yeah, go home.
And then your dad fucked that dad.
Probably. No, I'm...
Right in the ass.
Right in the ass. He's like, I'll see you later. Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
I'm going to do to you what my daughter did to your son, but sexually.
Exactly.
He's like, but I'm a good guy, so I'm going to reach around also. I will also
Yeah, you're going to come
off.
too, and you're going to like it.
Whether you want to or not.
Oh, what, you're not gay? You will be.
After I'm done. Yeah, no.
You're bi now, son.
Mm-hmm. So,
Any guesses on what Nolan would go to jail for?
stealing a pizza?
I feel like Nolan would
This is
go to
going to
jail
be simple.
Nolan would go to jail for violating the all-you-can-eat clause at a restaurant.
Aw.
That's not a felony.
What would? Oh, identity theft.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Too
Nah.
much work.
I feel like.
I mean, you could use some fake credit cards and stuff. I mean, that's identity theft, but it's pretty easy.
Yeah, either that or he could do what do you call it, industrial espionage, where he steals secrets from the restaurants he works at. Sells
This
them.
is funny. So, remember how I was telling you I worked at Culligan?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
When I quit, they made me sign a non-compete clause so I wouldn't share secrets with their competitors.
What's the
I'm
secret?
what? Yeah, what's the secret? The fact that you didn't train me how to ride a forklift, so I was a danger to everyone around me? The fact you put me in a truck that I need a special license to drive that I didn't have.
So you weren't there enough to get the water secrets.
Yeah. How do you make water?
Yeah. They get it delivered. And
How
then they
is your
deliver
water
it.
made?
With magic.
Magic.
We captured a wizard and made him create water over and over again.
Magic water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. He's a thief. Nothing tangible, just secrets.
I know what the secrets are, Nolan. They're like every bag, you get the blue bag or the red bag, they're the same. There's no secret. They just charge you more for the red bag.
What bags are you talking about?
The water, like the softener, like one's supposed to be for rust, one's supposed to be pellets, but they're all the same. They just charge you more for the different bags. They're like, yep, this one's for rust.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. I will say water softeners are nice when you live somewhere that has hard water.
Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
As someone with long hair, it's a pain in the ass to dry if you don't have a water softener.
It makes your hair like straw. And ours, you can tell when ours runs out. It's like the toilets are rusty and your hair, and it smells bad. And yeah, we have well water, and if you don't have it, you're...
Oh yeah, if you got a well, you need some softening in there.
But with it, it's delicious.
It's delicious. It tastes good.
Well, that's what...
Silky smooth. Yeah.
So it's delicious
So
and
soft.
it tastes good?
It's so soft. How can water be soft? But it is.
How? I just want to
slippery.
know.
For those of you at home wondering what water soft means, it means it's removing heavy metals.
Word. In this case,
Look, he
metals
did
are
learn
bad.
something. Metal is bad.
Heavy metals are generally bad to eat, yes.
In this case, metal is bad.
Heavy metal is bad. It causes satanic panic.
Yeah.
It really just builds up in your system in places you shouldn't have that amount of heavy metal.
Yeah, that means you people who keep swallowing colloidal silver for no reason. There is no daily requirements for silver as a human. Stop.
Unless you want blue skin.
Yeah.
Look
You want
at
to join
Nolan.
the Blue Man group
And
permanently.
I've seen it. Anyway.
Anyway.
All right, so we're all going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
What's our plan? First
prison.
of all,
We're going to prison.
no, we're going to prison. Here's the thing, right? Let's say that let's say you didn't commit the crime. Now you got to spend all your money defending yourself because you can't get a public defender. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. If I didn't do it, they're not going to arrest me. I'm going to flee the country.
Good plan. How are you going to get there?
I can fucking swim to Canada, and from there I get a fucking plane to France where they have no extradition treaty.
So he's thought this out.
Yeah.
So
I'll
you
steal
have-
a rowboat on the coast of Lake Huron, row across the lake, claim asylum, and move to France.
And you have a waterproof passport to take with you to
Just
get
a
to France.
Plastic bag is
I know.
fine.
If I'm claiming asylum, I don't need a passport.
Okay. Noted. All right. That's a fairly solid plan. What happens if you get caught and you're actually in prison? What's the plan then?
Oh, kill myself.
You're not even going to try to defend yourself and get out?
I mean, post-trial, if I get convicted, probably going to kill myself.
Yeah,
Going to take some pedophiles out with me, but I'm not staying in prison for decades.
I mean,
Fuck
yeah,
that
because
shit.
even if the appeal process, even if you go to court or you have evidence that shows that you didn't commit the crime, how many years before they actually pay attention to that and you actually get a court case? You could sit there for 3 years with everybody full on knowing that you are innocent before they actually do a fucking thing.
Yep. Now, if they put me in a low security situation, like one of the low security prisons, I'm going to try to escape. But anything more than that, I'm killing pedophiles and then myself.
Word. That's
Yeah.
actually a decent plan.
And even if you get the process to get an appeal or it gets approved and they decide you're innocent, they still take forever to fucking let you out.
I think I just said
I
that.
know,
pretty
but
Yeah,
much.
I'm
he
saying.
literally just
just-
said that.
Is
Is that where you
Literally.
heard it? Is that where you heard it?
It might have been where I heard it.
Was it the echo in the room?
It was. No, I was going to go back to the Innocence Project thing and how bad it made me sad and mad and angry that those people sat in prison still, even for 3 years and shit. That's terrible. Knowing that they're freaking innocent.
Oh, like the guy
Yeah,
who
I'm
got
not-
out and immediately got cancer and died.
Yeah.
I was.
mean,
Oh,
it's
no, I was-
horrible.
I was thinking of the guy that got out and immediately murdered someone.
Valley.
Like he was charged. Yeah, he was charged with murder. The Innocent Projects got him out. And because he had been in prison so long, he didn't know about security cameras and just immediately killed someone on camera. He was on Joe Rogan. It was hilarious.
That's a terrible one right there. But I'm talking about the ones that were truly innocent, that like the guy that got out and died of cancer. I mean, that's horrible.
He didn't. Didn't he not get any money either?
I think he got. Yeah, he
probably
didn't
not.
Get any.
Certain states don't give you money for that.
I mean, he was poor AF.
And you lost all
and
your
I
money.
I do want to make it clear, I'm not like attacking the Innocence Project for that. Nobody can bat 1,000.
No.
You're gonna make mistakes every once in a while. I just thought that was ironically hilarious.
No, well, that's the only reason why those three got out. Really, is because of doing the HBO documentary. Everybody's sitting there seeing it, and like all these famous people were like, "What the fuck is going on?" I think it was Eddie Vedder who started all that shit for him for the West Memphis Three, and Damien Eccles even says he's like, if I wouldn't have had this national attention from this documentary, he's like, I guarantee you they would have killed me in prison.
Yeah.
They'd have made it look like an accident. He'd be dead.
Yeah. Real quick, what's your guys' opinion on the death penalty?
Well, okay, I got a couple opinions on the death penalty. If they truly did it, yeah, whack them. But don't drag it out. Just fucking do it, and do it with a 22 to the brain. There you go.
All right, here's my thing. I don't think it should be a thing the courts can sentence you to. I think the worst thing the government should be able to do is put you in prison for life. And then once you're in there and you go through all the appeals and it becomes clear that beyond a shadow of a doubt you fucking did it, you're given the option to kill yourself. It's like, hey, you can either spend the next 60 years in this fucking concrete box with all these rapists and other murderers, or we can take you out back and shoot you. Your choice, bud. Whatever you want.
Yeah. I think it'd be fair just to shoot them.
Yeah, and it has to be quick. It has to be quick
inexpensive.
And not painful. Like, lethal injection fucks up so often that it's not a viable option.
I don't know who they're getting to put IVs in. It always perplexes me. I'm like, how do you not get it in? It's super simple.
The bad nurses. The nurses that can't get hired at regular hospitals because they're bad at their jobs.
I feel like they do it on purpose. Like, the people fuck it up on purpose just to torture these
15 fucking times?
Definitely.
I mean...
The best way to torture them is just to fucking kill them.
No, because this is like some sick and twisted fun for them to like.
Oh, because you're saying that not all nurses are good people, and not all doctors are good people.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is a misconception. Is that like?
I mean, the
like,
Nazis proved that doctors don't have to be good people.
Oh, for sure.
So
I think that's always garbage. Every time they do these lethal injections, I'm like, you know what? I'm not all about killing somebody, but I would not be sitting there torturing somebody. Honestly, I'd be like, you guys can't get a vein? All right, I'm going to put an external jugular.
Yeah.
Boom. It's in.
And I also think like we don't need to see we don't need to hear about it. We don't need to know what they had for dinner. We don't need to hear all that. Like, they're making it a public show just for fun. Like, just do it if you're going to do it.
Well, their idea is if you make it public, then you will have less likely have recidivism with all the people who go to jail and then get out. But that's not true.
Do you guys know when the last public execution was?
It was in the 70s, right? 60s, 70s, something like that.
74 in France, they guillotined a guy, and they watched the public run up to the platform and like take handkerchiefs and soak in the blood to like have a souvenir. And the French government was like, oh, fuck, this makes us look like savages. We can't keep doing this. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
What's the story of the one lady who got her head chopped off, but she had a smile on her face or something, so like the queen or whatever went up and slapped her? Some goofy story of that.
I don't know that story. I do know that in like the 20s, maybe the 30s, there was a public execution where they wanted to test and see if you were still conscious after decapitation. So one guy that was going to die anyway, like, volunteered. So they, like, picked his head up and was like, all right, when we pick your head up, blink if you're still there. And he's, like, just blinking his fucking eyes out of his skull. Like, no, I'm still here. I'm still conscious. My brain still has oxygenated blood. This is awful.
This blows. Please reattach. Oh, don't have that technology. I just saw that they have that technology. I think China came up with, like, how to do a head transplant.
That's terrible.
Craziness.
We're going to have rich people stealing young bodies and transplanting their brains now.
It's supposed to be put on a freshly dead person who died of natural causes or whatever.
Oh, natural causes? In China? That's just called living in China.
It might not be China. I don't know. I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? I don't think we need that. Why can't we just have cyborg bodies? That's what I want.
What did you watch or listen to the podcast? And I'm pretty sure it was like one of the morbid podcasts. It was some lady who was being killed or, being part of like someone's serial or killerness. And she was basically decapitated. Her head was so floppy that at one point, when she wasn't holding her head, it flopped backwards and she couldn't see because it cut off her ocular nerves and literally she had to pull her head in front of her again. And they reattached it and she lived.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was, I think
Fun.
it was like on...
I think it was on Morbid.
Yeah,
I can't
not sure.
She escaped and like crawled like 5 miles to the road and stuff, like with her head not attached, basically.
That just reminds me of one
did
of
she know where
Jeffrey
she was going?
Dahmer's.
She just went in a direction.
Yeah.
Where
That just
are we?
reminds me of one of the Dahmer victims that had a hole in his head.
He was
managed to
making
escape.
zombies.
Managed to escape the apartment. The cops were called, and they just gave him back to Dahmer.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, and he was only like, what, 14, 15
Yeah.
years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why that happened?
They were all gay?
Yeah, because cops
Because-
don't like gay. They didn't want to deal with any homosexual games or homosexual stuff because they're all scared of
Yeah, they thought it was a weird sex thing. They're like, just go back into your fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Like, those cops should be brought up on accessory to murder charges.
Oh, well, that would be... No, you
That
can't...
would be justice.
No, you can't do something like that. That would be terrible. Sammy, you were way
Another
too
quick
loud.
thing. You know how they always say protect and serve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Supreme Court said that they don't have to do that.
Today,
'Cause there was a
like they
case-
said that like recently.
No, this was like 20 years ago. There was a case in Texas where a lady got kidnapped by her ex, and her family knew where he took her, and they told the cops, and the cops refused to go get him. So the brother and the dad just went up and killed him, and got their fucking daughter back, and then they got brought up on murder charges, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, yeah, the cops don't actually have to protect and serve you. They're just there to ticket you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
They're here to serve the state.
yeah. Well, that's kind of the other thing about, like, if you the whole idea of the cops is supposed to be public safety, but they're also supposed to be, like, they're not only that, they're supposed to be advocates, and they're supposed to be your neighbors and people you know and trust. Who feels that way about cops?
Nope.
Well, that's because in the late 80s, early 90s, they changed cop regulations, so you no longer had to live in the town
Yeah.
that you work in.
But you should. You absolutely
Yeah, of
fucking
course you
should.
should.
And be known. And be someone who's,
Yeah.
like, supportive and, like, you're the go-to person. Like, we have a problem. We know that we have a cop that can
Hey.
help us.
Somebody go get Jim. He's a cop. He lives down the street.
But no. Instead, it's much, much worse. And if there's any cops listening to this, I'm not saying you're bad.
Yeah, I want
'Cause
to be
I don't
very
know
clear. I'm
you.
not.
I don't know
Yeah,
you
I'm not
personally.
I'm not anti-cop. I'm anti-corruption and abuse of power.
Yeah.
It just so happens that because cops interact with the public more so than any other public servant, that tends to be who abuses their power the most often.
Yeah. Not good. Not great.
Like, I got friends that are cops I trust with my fucking life, but that's because I know them.
Yeah.
One of them hunts pedophiles. I don't believe in heroes, but he's fucking close.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
I couldn't do it because he has to bring him back to the police station and, like, book him. I'd just shoot him.
Yeah. Or they could try to get a cure.
Pedicure?
That's the bullet.
Pedicure. That used to be part of my joke. I used to
Pretty sure
say,
you-
I used to say that I think that they should seek a cure since we're not allowed to put a bullet in their head. But it took me the joke too hard to follow, so I was like, take it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a solid pun.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, what would you do in prison?
me?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem, right? If you think that there's a possibility you might get out, you have to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't mar your record at all while in prison.
Right.
Yeah, because they can just add more sentences and give you more time.
Yeah, and then they can, let's say that they don't add sentences, but they have a lot of dirt on you. Then they can be like, well, clearly he shouldn't go to court because he's done this, this, and this. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a couple routes. You can either be like, okay, I'm going to be Mr. Good Guy, and I'm going to work on all my appeals and someday get out. Now, it depends on the crime. Like, if I really killed somebody because they fucking deserved it and I go to jail, I'm like, well, I'm going to become a badass.
Because it doesn't matter because you're in there.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to be in here anyway. You know, I'm going to write to my family. I'm going to, all that other stuff. But inside the prison, yeah, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to get my own little following.
But if you're innocent, what you going to do?
If you're innocent, you're just going to keep appealing and mind your P's and Q's. You get raped, whatever. What are you going to do? I mean,
Try not to get raped.
Try not to get raped, but, if it happens, what are you going to do? Back into it? Maybe. Make sure that your ass is shaved. I mean,
Make it appealing for them.
I mean, I would also have lube. I'd be like, okay, hold on just a second.
If this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen right.
Yeah, if it's gonna happen, don't just spit on your finger. Let's think this out, okay?
Hey, I just went to commissary yesterday. I got the KY. Let's put on some Marvin Gaye. Yeah. I'm at least gonna try to enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would say. I'd be like, listen, this is gonna happen. Let's make it good for you. Let's make it good for me. Let's not get all fucking rough about it.
Oh, what do you mean? This is a power thing for you? God damn it. I thought we were going to fall in love.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be like that, I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, I understand that you want to be dominant, but let's at least be dominant and use your head, okay? You know what I mean? Is this like a two-pump thing?
He's going to use his head, definitely.
This is a two-pump thing that you're going for. I'm like, you're not going to break me in 2 pumps. Let's get this dilated out a little bit, get the lube going.
All right, it's getting gross.
What, Swan? What would you do if you're within a whole female prison?
Not have sex out? Like usual.
You're having sex.
Am I innocent or am I guilty?
Oh, you're guilty.
Okay, so if I'm guilty,
100%.
I'm going to own that
guilty.
fucking prison. I'll be head bitch in charge for sure.
I don't think so.
I will.
There's some really tough butch lesbians in women's prisons.
That's
you
fine.
might be an enforcer. I don't know if you're going to be like in charge.
I mean, I definitely am
You're
not.
a little old to be in charge. I mean, you got to work your way up. Enforcer.
Oh, no. The older women are the ones that are in charge. Like,
That's what I mean. She got to work her way up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to be in charge if I'm freaking guilty. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to be the one making deals with cops and shit, too.
So
you're going to be a rat.
Yeah.
Well, don't do that. You're going to get shanked.
No,
yeah.
I will have
cops. You don't want to be
I'll have
friends
protection.
with the cops.
I'm gonna get like the Martha Stewart cell.
You need to totally change your
be
entire
Martha
story.
Stewart for that.
No, I'm gonna work my way up to the nice cell. I'm gonna have like my people who guard my cell and stuff. Like, yeah.
You've totally gone from badass to lame ass.
Both. I'm gonna be both.
You can't be both.
You can. I'm gonna play all sides of it.
And you're going to get shanked.
Oh, you're going to die. You're going to die so fast.
You're definitely going to die like your first month in prison.
No, but my eyebrows will be on fleek.
Did you just say...
On fleek?
I did.
What is this,
Just say-
2014?
I did it for Nolan.
Sorry, did you just
I
say...
used the old vernacular.
It's not
That's
even-
like fucking millennial
it's
late
terrible.
I
teen
know.
stuff.
Fucking
I know.
horrible shit
Yeah.
on fleek.
It's true. It's
Ugh.
true.
I've never, nor will I ever, utter those
A fun
words.
story about tough lesbian bitches in prison. I think this was out in either Oregon or Washington, but a trans woman went into a women's prison and tried to take it over effectively, like just use her physical strength to domineer the other women. They beat the living shit out of her.
You got numbers, man.
Yeah, like 5 of them just jumped her in the shower. It's like, all right, you're stronger than each of us individually, but there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna survivor it. I'm gonna make like friends and allies on all the sides.
No,
That's not how that works. Depending on what state you're in, the racial politics
yeah,
of
you're
prison.
also a white girl. That's like saying that I'm going to go in and hang out with the white people. I'm not doing
to be
that.
fair, you could probably pick which side you want, Beaveman.
I'm pretty sure I would just pick the Latinos.
I mean, you would have a numbers advantage on that side, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you wanted really good meth, you'd go with the whites.
I don't want meth. I just want to. I just want to belong.
I wonder if I found my
After
people.
all this time, I want to really belong with my people. Yeah.
They're gonna see your Star Wars tats and be like, "Is this a white guy? Is this just a tan white guy? What the fuck?"
Yeah, but then I'm going to take off my. Well, I guess once they see my Ninja Turtles, they might wonder also. You know.
Like, this is definitely just a tan white guy. Oh fuck.
No, guys, I'm Latino, but I was raised white, so I like Comic-Cons. Come on, I finally want to belong. I'll be like begging the Mexicans. Come on, guys, I'll shank someone. Just come on, let me. Don't send me over to the white guys.
You'll get some prison tats to match. You'll get some new Latino prison
It'd be
tats.
like, what do you, what you want, Beaveman? I'm like, can you put a Master Splinter right here? Make him look tough though.
You want a rat? You want a rat tattoo in prison?
No, I said it's Master Splinter.
He's a rat.
He's a ninja rat though, so
Oh, you're a sneaky rat. Somebody's getting shanked.
Fine, put Shredder on there. Put Shredder over here. That'd be fine. Although, I mean, I definitely would get jacked if I was.
I would go for
you
the
have to.
insanity plea. Like, I would just go
You
insane.
know how hard it is to get an insanity plea?
You're not a rich white man, and you didn't murder a fucking college girl.
First of all, insanity, the only way you can prove that, Swan, is to, one, you can't admit anything. You can't admit that you understood the crime, anything that you were before or after. Insanity is very hard to prove. That's why you need to actually read about true crime. It's very hard to prove.
Another fun story. So a guy in England, he got diagnosed insane to like get out of some kind of crime, but then he goes to an insane asylum and he's like, "Oh fuck, these people are actually crazy." So he tries to convince the staff that he's not crazy to send him to normal prison, but they just keep thinking that all of the things he's doing to prove that he's not crazy proves that he's crazy, because he'd be like wearing nice clothes in the asylums, like, the subject keeps dressing up. That's insane. Does he know where he is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, he keeps not talking to people, so they're like antisocial.
Yeah.
Like, just funny shit.
You literally can know no details of the crime. You can't get tricked into knowing it, showing that you know any details. It's nearly impossible. This isn't
the other route.
This isn't 1960.
Yeah, then you have the other route where you are crazy, but they're not going to let you go because you were temporarily insane. You're just actually crazy. Like, there was a case in, I want to say, it was either Indiana or Idaho, where a dude just shot his friend. Like, he just lured him out to the woods and murdered him and turned himself in. And the cops are like, "Why did you do it?" Like, "I wanted to know what it felt like to kill someone."
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're fucking insane. So they locked him up in an insane asylum forever. He can never leave, no matter what.
Yeah, I guess that would probably suck. I mean, that would probably suck less than prison, maybe.
Like that. That's.
I mean, that is its
Well,
own prison.
Prison,
so.
you're going to get 20 years to life. Insane asylum, they're never going to let you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Ever.
you might end up with a lobotomy.
I mean, they might give me good meds, though.
You just want to
No,
drool
they're
on
gonna
yourself
give you
and shit
lithium.
yourself all day?
Maybe.
Lithium's a good med. Actually works really well.
I mean, maybe. Could be fine.
Speaking of which, what's that movie where the girls are all in the insane asylum, but they imagine
Sucker Punch.
That is such a dope movie. I was wanting to watch that.
I love
a
that
month ago,
movie.
and I was like, God damn it, I can't find it anywhere without renting it, and it pisses me off. I should have bought it.
I might have a physical copy somewhere.
Ooh, that movie.
Yeah, that was
so
before
cool.
everyone. Yeah, that movie came out before everyone decided to hate Zack Snyder for no fucking reason.
I love that movie.
Like, oh, he ruined Superman. No, he didn't. He didn't. I loved Zack Snyder's DC universe.
First of all, it's very hard to do Superman, no matter what.
They were like, oh, he killed Zod at the end. Yeah, because it was either kill Zod or let him murder civilians. What the fuck kind of option is that? He chose the lesser of two evils, like he's Superman.
Anyway, stupid.
Stupid.
I would definitely have so much time to practice jujitsu, though. I would just have an entire clan of people that I would teach jujitsu to, and we would just practice all the time. It'd be awesome. My hand grip strength would be so good.
Which also doubles for your second prison job, giving handies.
Giving handies? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
True.
You're like, these hands are baby soft, but the grip is great.
He's been saving that loogie all day just to spit on it.
Yep.
No, lube, man. I would
Lube.
literally, if my children were like, Dad, is there anything that we can send you?
Lube.
KY jelly. So much KY jelly.
Just a lot.
And the sad thing is both of your children will be like, okay.
Like, why does Dad always need KY jelly?
Like, go to Diddy's house and get all the baby oil they didn't seize.
No, it's not good
I
for
need
you.
it.
It's not good for you.
That's not good for your body's pH. It's
No,
not
you
good.
gotta have a water base, Johncock. It's gotta be water based or silicone lube. The
Sorry,
oils
I
are not
usually
good
don't
for
have
you.
to worry about lube. I'm young.
Just saying, it's good for you.
That doesn't matter. It just makes it even better.
Wait,
Lube?
hold up, dude.
Like, go back to that.
Let's circle back around. Johncock, you're. I've been using lube on chicks since I was like 19 years old, so I don't know why you're not.
Defend yourself.
Why are you
and
not?
Go.
Why are you
Don't
not?
know. You don't
using
need
this?
lube because.
Oh, you want my defense? Usually there's enough of my saliva down there that I don't need extra liquid down there.
Okay, but saliva's not a lubricant. It's drying. If you got the natural flowing of the female, that's a lubricant. But still, when you want to get a little extra going, I mean, if she's just gush right from the get-go, you're good. If she's not,
That's usually what I'm dealing with.
uh-huh. Okay. Well, you've heard it here. He just naturally makes women gush.
if you,
All the time.
if you want to try
Really
to
not all
date-
the time.
It's
No, it's been 18
occasionally.
months.
18 months? Why haven't you killed yourself?
You think this is my longest dry spell?
Oh
It's
my
not.
God. I can't even remember. My longest dry spell, I thought I was going to die. It was.
You're currently in your longest dry spell.
No, this isn't my longest one.
No.
My longest one, I think, was like 4 months. It seemed like a really long time, especially when you're like 19. Whew. Rough. Very rough. Anyway,
He's working on himself.
No, I'm not. I'm fat as fuck.
he's
Oh.
working himself, is what you meant
I
to say.
was getting there. Right now, folks. No, he's done already.
No, I'm not.
Anyway.
Anyway, all right, so it's about the time where
It is.
we delve into the disturbed mind that is the Swan. It's about that time for you to get a glimpse to the psychosis that is the Swan. We do need a topic, though.
Mm-hmm.
Fitting for this discussion. Do you have anything, Johncock?
Lake Superior is so cold that dead bodies don't decompose in it.
Ooh, that is cool.
I mean, that's true criminess, I suppose.
Terrible place to hide a body.
Oh, that's what you should do. Swan's thoughts on hiding a body. That's a good topic.
Pigs, tire fires.
It's
A lot of
Swan's
options.
Minute. Swan,
Uh-huh.
your manic minute.
Uh-huh.
Swan's thoughts on the many techniques of hiding a body. Pros and cons. Ad lib, whatever you want. Are you ready?
I suppose.
Cue the music, producer.
It's one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even considered Everyone in this room is now dumb for having listened to me. I award you no point, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Swan's thoughts on how to hide a body. Apparently, this body is dead because it's a body that I'm going to hide. So I'm assuming it's dead. So don't put it in Lake Superior because Nolan said it's cold there. So I'm going to probably if it's a body that I'm trying to hide, it must be something that I had to deal with. So I probably killed it or did something or found it or whatever. But I'm going to try to hide it. So I'm going to wear gloves and put all of my DNA evidence. I'm not going to put it in my car because that would be stupid. And I'm going to take it, wrap it up in some cellophane somewhere, and maybe I'm going to just drop it off at the cemetery because I heard that many bodies just get dumped there and it's fine. You can just put them as unclaimed bodies, and somebody's going to take care of them, and it'll be somebody else's problem and not mine. There will be no DNA evidence on it because I did not touch it. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. I will have an alibi for said body that I have dumped somewhere. Either that, or I'm going to make friends with a veterinary crematorium, and I'm going to find somebody that can dump and dispose of my bodies. Cremate them. That's the word I'm looking for. Cremate them, and have an inn somewhere that's going to not, I'm going to just stop it, Nolan. You're making me like not even want to look at you. It's gross. But yeah, so I'm going to dispose of a body. I'm going to probably either freeze it and then that'll be less evidence somewhere. I don't know.
Wow. It's a body that I have. I guess I killed it or just happened to have this, or I found it. If you found it, why
Leave
are
it
you
alone.
disposing of it?
I don't know.
Call the cops.
Yeah, call a cop.
I
you
don't
ding
know.
dong.
You told me I had to dispose of it.
You married her.
Yeah. What did you think about my cemetery plan? There's-
It's a decent plan, but especially because we all know that nobody wants to investigate shit, so I'm sure it's fine.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give away my secrets.
Yeah, don't give away your secrets.
Pig farm.
I mean, that is a good one. That didn't even come in my brain, even though it.
There's a million ways to
Good.
dispose of a body. I actually don't know. I actually do know why bodies get found because people are lazy.
That is true.
Serial killers are fucking notoriously lazy. They're like, I'm just going to dump it here.
I feel like lazy, and they feel like they are above getting caught. They're like, they think they're just like, nah, they're not
Yeah,
gonna
they're like,
catch
I'm
me.
smarter than all the cops. No, you're not. You're actually not smarter. It's just that people are stupid, and there's how many? 330 million people in the United States? Some shit like that. So you're not smart. You're a fucking idiot, and just because you got away with murder doesn't mean you're not going to get caught.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is Nolan muted?
He chose
Why is
to
he
mute
muted himself?
because you cannot unmute your guest because I chose to mute themselves.
Yeah.
He muted himself because clearly he doesn't know how to use his phone or
He does
his
seem like a little
computer.
bit, yeah.
He's a little special for that genius
Seems-
that he has. All of his knowledge went into all the random useless facts that he knows about everything under the sun except for something that's important like communication.
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't hide a body. Like I said, if I killed somebody, I'm going to say, hey, I killed this person. I'm not going to hide a body. I would just call the cops.
Okay, so you don't need to hide.
Well, I don't need to hide a
I
body.
was just
Now,
if
you had
I
to do the
killed
bro
someone
thing. Yeah.
and you had to hide it for me, what would you do?
Well, first of all, you don't bury it shallow.
Mhm.
Everybody buries shit shallow. I mean, like, why do you bury stuff shallow?
Because they're too lazy to dig something deep.
Also, you don't dismember the body right away if you're going to dismember a body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You literally will set up like a plastic tent, plastic all over the floors, plastic overhang. You wear all the plastic. You wear everything that you can dispose of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you dismember the body. You dismember the body and then you distribute it throughout the entire United States. And again, you don't just dump it, you bury it. You pay for everything in cash, different locations. That's how you dispose of the body. Or you literally dig a hole like 15 feet deep and you dump it in there. And then you cover it up. A dog is not going to smell 15 feet down, especially if they have no idea that you've killed anybody and you have no attachment whatsoever to anybody.
Good plan, I think. Perhaps. What about the freezing idea? Could you freeze it? Would that make it easier to dismember it if you just used, I don't know. I don't know these things.
If you could freeze it in liquid nitrogen and then just break it, that would probably work out pretty well. Freeze in liquid nitrogen, break it, and then just get one of those like really highly powered like massage guns and just rumble it until it all breaks apart into pieces. And then you could get rid of it.
Ooh, I just had another idea. You could freeze it and then you could coat it in like the epoxy resin stuff so that it's like all encased so you don't, no one, and then you bury it so no one can ever find it deep down. Like, because that would.
But then it
get rid of-
becomes mush and goo. Then it's just a big old. I'm like, that's what people make the mistake of like encasing something in cement. I'm like, it still freaking turn into goo, like a big old
know
puddle,
these
and
things. I'm not a chemist.
you've just compromised the wall, and then that wall is going to break or whatever, and people are like, what the fuck happened? And like, oh, there's this just big old goo.
There's this goo
There's
that
just
used to
this
be.
big
There's this
gallon
human
of
goo.
goo.
There's
It
this
was-
human goo.
A gallon of goo that used to be a person. Oh, that's suspicious. Oh, who poured this wall? Oh, this guy. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's not like it's building the bridge where there's like, tons of concrete. We're talking about like a wall or a structure.
I mean, I guess you could build some big giant structure. Like if you worked for a concrete company or something, you'd be dead by the time they tear that down and figure out that you were the part of it.
I feel like because it doesn't I feel like it's just going to turn into a big old puddle, but maybe not. Well, no, it has to because oxygen is still going to get to it.
'Cause
Concrete is still
porous.
concrete is still permeable. So oxygen is still going to get there. All the gases are still going to get there. It's going to turn into a big old goo. So it's like having what do you call it? When you have how
An
you're driving
abscess?
along. No, you know how you're driving along and there's a hole that all of a sudden opens up in the earth.
Oh, like a
because there used-
sinkhole?
Yeah, that used to be there. You're basically making a sinkhole inside of a concrete structure.
Okay, so that's a bad idea, folks. Don't do that.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I would think that they still decompose in there and it's going to be liquid goo instead of being like bone and.
I mean, I'm sure you're probably right because even then, when you bury people in the concrete thing that they put them in, it still breaks down inside of there.
Yeah, and the only reason why they don't deteriorate fast is because you pump them full of freaking embalming fluid.
Yeah. So,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm back.
Yay.
Where'd you go?
So
Were you gone?
he was
My
gone.
fucking camera disconnected, my mic disconnected, my keyboard disconnected, my mouse disconnected. I had to hard reset everything.
He had to hard reset everything.
That's what she said.
Well, let's ask Nolan. Let's see what he thinks.
Okay, Nolan.
Yeah, what'd I miss?
If you encase someone in cement, do they decompose?
No.
And why is that?
If it's like true encasing them, there's no air for the bacteria to live for the body to decompose. It will get dehydrated because the cement will like leach the liquid out of their body, so it'll like mummify them, but they won't decompose.
Okay, what if you dip them in like epoxy, like, resin, whatever?
Oh, then it won't even mummify them.
So
You
it
will
would just
preserve that body perfectly.
So
Well, that blows my
It'll-
theory.
It'll smell really bad when you uncover them because their stomach acid will have eventually like gone septic and eaten through their body.
it will be goo inside a human shaped.
See, I was
Pretty
thinking
much,
that it
yeah.
would be goo inside of a cement because cement is permeable. It's still going to oxygenate.
Oh, okay.
And we also
If it's-
have anaerobic bacteria. Not all bacteria requires oxygen.
That's true.
That is why that is the principle of, like medicine. Some things are aerobic, some things are anaerobic, you use your antibiotics to treat those things. Even tetanus
So back
is
to the
tetanus
disposing
is
of a body.
anaerobic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back to disposing of a body for those listeners at home. If you have a nearby pig farm, the pig will eat all of it except the teeth. You just got to grind those up and cast them to the wind. Another option is go to a junkyard and put the dead body in a trunk with a tire and gasoline. So you light the tire on fire and close the trunk. That tire will still burn, and it'll
Alright,
turn
smolder.
that trunk into a furnace. 3,000 degrees, reduce the bones to ash. Your next option is to get a bunch of like lye, like pretty much any acid, then a container that can hold the acid, and you just dissolve the body in there.
Back to the trunk. Don't you have to punch holes in the trunk though to increase the intensity of the heat?
Yeah, that might help, but that tire is going to burn no matter what.
Smoldering.
Well, and if
Yeah.
if you like
And
used a hatchback,
so this
you're all
option-
good.
Yeah, so this fourth option doesn't work anymore because technology has made it obsolete. But you could dig a 10-foot deep hole, put the body in, fill in 4 feet, put a dead horse, and then fill in the other 6 feet. Because then the dog will still smell the dead body, but they'll dig down and find the horse and be like, oh, the dog found a horse. Now they have ground-penetrating radar that can go more than 10 feet deep, so they're going to see past the horse and see a dead body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't do that one. That one doesn't work anymore.
Ooh, I feel
However,
like-
it would work if you.
I learned all of this in the Boy Scouts.
So easy though if you did it up in the UP because there's no. It doesn't matter what dog you have. There's so many That's why Bigfoot lives up there. There's so many places that people never go or never see.
Uninhabited areas.
Yeah.
What if you drop them out of like a helicopter into a volcano? You're pretty safe there.
Well, most volcanoes are tourist attractions, so they're gonna see you.
What if you accidentally plug up the volcano with that body you dropped in?
That's
I totally
that's
grossly
a giant body.
I grossly underestimated the size of that hole.
I think people will forgive you
Or a
because
geyser.
to drop a body that heavy from a helicopter, you'd have to develop a flight mechanism for a helicopter that can lift so much fucking weight.
I've seen them lift King Kong with helicopters.
Really? In real life, you've seen them lift
King Kong?
I mean, helicopters can carry like loads of crap and drop it.
Oh yeah,
So a helicopter can carry a body.
big cargo.
Totally easy.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we're
why trains
saying a
do that.
body big
Anyway.
enough to plug a volcano.
What if you?
I don't want to plug it. I just want to dispose of the body.
I'm talking about
He
plugging
said
it.
plug.
I know you talked about plugging
Having
it.
fun, Swan.
Yeah. All right.
What if
Fine.
Swan made a mistake and thought that a geyser was a volcano, and she dropped the body into a geyser and
You would steam cook a body.
shoots it out? Old Faithful just pops it up,
Did
and
you
it
hear
looks like
about
the old cartoon where you're on top of the water.
Yeah, did you hear about the Yellowstone tourist that fell into the sulfuric acid pits and
Mhm.
just dissolved?
Yeah,
They had to close the pits for like 3 weeks.
freaking ridiculous.
One guy ruined so many family vacations.
Yeah, well,
And
people
yeah,
at the Grand
and yeah,
Canyon
it was
do
a
that all the
dude.
time.
Yeah, but that's intentional. They're going there to kill themselves.
No,
No.
they just go to take pictures and they back up. Someone died like 2 days after we went, and I'm not even kidding. They like go over the guardrail.
What?
They go over
How
the
fucking
guardrail
dumb do you have to
Happens
be?
all the fucking time.
all the time.
Oh my god, what?
And his picture wasn't any better than my picture that was in front of the guardrail.
There's warnings all
Oh.
over when you go to the Grand Canyon. Hey,
My
stupid.
God, what?
And we saw it many, many times while we were there. Freaking 60-year-old in his white diabetic shoes that can't even walk on level surface evenly, stepping over the guardrail to take a picture. Are you dumb?
I will say, when I went to the Hoover Dam, on the side that had the biggest drop, there were like imprinted "Do not set your children on this rail," because it's like
Jeez.
a foot wide concrete rail, so it could be a seat, but don't sit there because it's a 400-foot drop to the bottom of the Colorado River.
Stupid. God, why is this
Thank-
species alive?
Thankfully, nobody died while my family was there. That would
Why
have
do we
soured the
exist?
moment.
Why do we exist as a species? There literally
Oh,
is no
because a
point.
bunch of fucking apes 250,000 years ago found some magic mushrooms and got high as fuck and realized that they exist.
Damn.
It's true.
Damn.
And then they smoked some weed and they were like, oh. And then 50,000 years ago, we're like, hey, let's farm.
Mm. SlaptailNation.com. Go ahead. Members of the Great Slaptail Nation, send me a message at slaptailnation.com. You can get, also you can email me at slaptailsquad@gmail.com. And let me know what happens to a body when you encase in cement. Because I'd really like to know. Does it become goo? Does it preserve it? What happens?
I think it still breaks down in cement. I feel like it becomes goo in resin.
Well, if it breaks down, like I said, it's going to displace the cement. Now, if we're talking tons of cement, it doesn't matter.
I mean, one
Yeah,
little
it'll
pocket
displace a
is
couple
fine.
pounds.
Yeah.
Because we're talking like the bridge. We know, I mean, those bridges are all have dedication plaques on them that say so-and-so lost their life, in 1920, blah, 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 fell into the concrete or wherever.
Oh, you want to hear something weird? So the first person to die building the Mackinac Bridge was the father of the last person to die building the Mackinac Bridge.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, that's not funny at all.
Imagine
That's
being
like
that first
the
guy's
circle
wife.
of life.
Now it seems
Like-
suspect.
Oh, I lost my husband to the bridge. Well, my son's gonna oh, fuck, I lost my son too? Shit.
She probably did it. She spiked their shit.
She didn't tell him about the seizure disorder. We're like, oh, it's fine. You have vertigo and it's seizure induced when you're up on a bridge. Oh, well, go ahead. Just go do it. Yeah. no.
Terrible. Fucking awful. You know what we should do? We should have Nolan read that book about the bombing in Marshall and see what he thinks.
We could, yeah.
See what his little tism brain thinks after reading it. But he likes fiction, so he probably won't even read it.
I also will read nonfiction.
You don't have to smack your lips just to tell me that. Now I'm
Keeping
super
it
curious.
juicy down there.
Super curious about the whole cement thing.
Okay, so on this podcast, we learn nothing. This is all stupid. You'll never learn anything, and don't take any of us seriously. And if you're going to kill yourself,
Don't.
call 988. Like, we're just recapping,
And please don't shoot yourself in the head because somebody else is going to have to clean that up.
Or you might not die.
Yeah,
I've
well,
known a
if
lot
you
of
do shoot
those.
yourself in the head, use a 22 because it's not going to exit.
Mm.
More than likely, it's not going to exit. It's just going to tumble all through your skull.
But don't do it.
But don't
Ting,
do
ting,
it.
ting, 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 ting.
But don't do it. But if you're going to do it, do it right. But don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just
do
don't
not.
do it.
Do it.
No.
Just don't do it. Yes, this existence sucks. I have nothing positive to say.
But here's something positive. It's always worse. It's got to be worse for someone else.
Yeah.
That's not positive. That's just awful.
Yeah. Someone has a worse existence than you.
Right.
Yeah, hey, remember, there's starving kids in Africa. That should help.
Yeah. Could we help them? Sure. Do we? No.
I mean, there's starving
But
kids
could
in
we?
America.
We could, but we're not going to.
All right. We are terrible people. Well, that was a fun conversation as always. And I would like to thank myself.
Why?
When I'm pausing, okay.
That's not an invitation to talk.
It is.
It's
That's
really not an invitation.
So
for
don't
me.
interrupt. Wait for the pause. I was
Well,
waiting for
started
the pause.
off, and you could tell I was going somewhere, but then you immediately talked.
Okay, go ahead.
Now I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I would like to thank myself for my excellent editing job for the last podcast.
You did do
Believe
a
it or not.
decent
Thank you.
job on that.
Thank you to me.
Actually impressed.
Thank you to me.
Good job, you.
I appreciate my efforts.
Just to let you know, there is no echo on my end, so
I believe it's StreamYard.
Maybe they fixed it. Maybe they listened to us.
No, they didn't because I heard it on MindDog today when I was listening. So it is StreamYard, and StreamYard, for as much money as you charge everybody, you should get your shit together.
fuck yeah.
And since you don't sponsor our podcast, I will say whatever the fuck I want.
Good answer.
Fuck you,
Good answer. Might have to
SteamYard.
go back to Zencaster, but Zencaster doesn't have 2-camera capability.
We're going to do this over Discord, motherfuckers.
Oh god, no, that would be a pain in my ass. That'd be terrible. Jesus. All right. Well, that's it for me. I got nothing coming up, and there's a reason for that because I'm going to be focusing on this podcast. Will I do some mics here and there? Absolutely. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on this podcast and writing my new podcast that I really want to do.
Yay, new podcast.
Yeah. So that's it for me, the Beaveman.
And from the Swan.
I was not done.
Oh, you're right. You didn't.
Adios, much fuckos.
Okay, and from the Swan, we have our 3rd annual Pride Slap Your Tail comedy show on Saturday, June 14th at the Dormouse Theater in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Headlining for this show, you're going to see Jamie Schreiner. Woo! And featuring Danny Lang. Whee! And opening for us, we have Amira Sanders. Yeah! And it is hosted by the one and only Nicole Melnick.
Fuck yeah.
It's brought to you by Slaptail Nation.
Boo. I'm kidding.
Phenomena. Bye from the Swan.
My turn?
Yeah,
Your
but you need
turn.
to promote yourself.
All right, you can find Nolan Johncock June 5th at Revel and Roll.
What?
June 6th at the Cricket in Battle Creek.
What?
And June 8th at somewhere in Grand Rapids doing Sunday Night Funnies.
Ooh.
And
You can also find me at the fucking... I forgot what I was going to say. Have a great night.
if you want to book him, How
If
do
you
we
want to
find
book me,
you?
you can find me at John Cock Comedy on Instagram or the slaptailsquad.com.
It's actually slaptailnation.com, but that's fine.
slaptailnation.com. I'm also available for announcing jobs, because that sounds like it would be fun.
But he has mouth noises, so hire me instead.
Don't hire the Beaveman instead. Hire me, because you won't hear the mouth noises live.